Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So, it is the 1st of October and you know what that means. It's Halloween, or it's at least going to be Halloween very soon. So, during this October we're going to have a lot of Halloween videos coming out. A lot of people are starting early this year and I thought I'd do the same. So, what we're going to do is make a little phone screen kind of design. What you're going to have to do to begin with is go to render. We're going to switch out the EV to cycles. And then we're going to go to the camera, which is right here. And what we'll do is we're going to change the size of the image. So you're going to have to go to the output right here. And we've got resolution under format just at the beginning right here. And place in by pixel the size of your screen. If you don't know, Google should be able to tell you. Just type it in, see what it brings up. So you just need to put in your phone model, and Google should be able to tell you the rest of how many pixels across and how many pixels up you have. Once you have that, you'll have something like this. Now, leave it where it is for the moment, because what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and delete the default cube, and I'm going to add a, let's go with UV sphere. We're going to go ahead and shade smooth. And what I'm going to do from this point on is we're going to go to material at the bottom right here. We're going to go new. And I'm just going to name this as glow. This is going to be for the eyes. And the eyes on this project are going to be a little bit rough as well. So what I'm going to do is we'll go to Principled BSDF. We'll change this to emission. Change this to kind of like a nice yellow colour, or you can have any colour that you want depending on your colour preferences. And you'll notice that when we go to the viewport shading on rendered, that we have this nice glowing circle. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to go add plane. You're going to press G with this, bring it up, scale it outwards to how big you want your ghost to be. And what I'm going to do is let's go to edit mode real quick. We're going to go right click subdivide, right click subdivide, subdivide, subdivide. Do it a few times. Do be aware that when you subdivide, it gives the computer a lot more work to it gives it basically more vertices to work with. So if your computer's quite slow, or maybe I don't know, a little outdated, maybe less subdivision than say someone who's got more of an advanced PC, because it's going to take up a lot more RAM memory to be able to run something like this. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to subdivide mine as much as my computer will be able to handle it. I'm going to go back to object mode. And what I'm going to do is let's go on to the wireframe for a moment. I think someone just texted me, if you can hear that. Something's just gone vroom, vroom. We're going to go to 7. Press 7 on the numpad, which is the top right here. So what you want to do in reality is roughly plan where the eye holes are going to be, because once we animate this to fall over the sphere, we're going to need some eye holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate this first and show you guys what you need to do, and then we can go ahead and put those eye holes in. So we have the sphere right here, which is going to be our model. So this will be our collision and this will be our cloth. So to do that, what we're going to do, go over to, it's not the modifiers, it's physics. The top one here, which is your plane, you're going to make this cloth. The bottom one here is going to be your collision. Now before I make it collision, what I'm going to do, I'm going to press play and just show you what happens. So you'll notice that the cloth just falls straight through because we haven't made this the collision yet. So let's go back to 0, just on that timeline at the bottom right here. And what I'm going to do, we'll click collision on this one. So remember, this is all in the physics tab. And when we press play now, that this is a collision, you'll notice that this happens. So you'll also notice that there's something else that's happening right here, which is all this kind of bumpiness, this pixelization kind of thing going on. And what we want to do is we want to remove that. So what we're going to do, let's bring this back to 0, to the starting point. We're going to go and click the material that we have, shade smooth. And when we press play again, we'll have something that's way, way, way more smoother. It's not perfect, just at the moment we do need to make some adjustments, but it's better than nothing. You'll also notice when the animation comes here at the bottom that it kind of collides with itself. You see all this where it's coming in? So what we need to do is we need to make an amendment on this. So what you're going to do, go to the physics tab, and we'll go all the way down to the bottom towards collisions. And what we're going to do, open the collision tab, you've got object collisions, go down one more, and we've got self collision. Now obviously nothing's going to happen at this point, because what we need to do is we need to bring this timeline back to 0 again. So now when we play this, it'll be a little bit slower. Don't worry if it's slow, it's just a computer reading. And when we come back down, we come back down again, down, down, down. You'll notice that this cloth is now going to hang a little bit more naturally. It's less collision. And when it comes down to the peak, nothing's crossing over, it's just hitting itself and it's coming back out. That's what we want. Now, you can go ahead and you can amend the settings as much as you want. I really do encourage you to experiment with this, because it's going to be, you know, it's your project at the end of the day. I would rather you experiment and understand what you're doing with it, rather than just following instructions and going, oh, Becky said to do it like this, so therefore I'm going to do it like this. If you've got your own way of doing something, then do it that way, if that works for you. You know what I mean? As long as you're getting to the same goal. Say like I've got one way of doing something, you've got one way of doing something, but we reach the same goal, who cares, right? So that is your collision. We're not really going to need the material to go down that far, but that's fine. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just reduce the tension ever so slightly. We'll see what happens. And the compression, I would say just keep it where it is, and we'll see what happens. Because about 5-10 minutes ago I was actually experimenting with the tension and the compression to make this look a little better. So we can see now that it comes down, we have a few more folds and stuff like that. Now, depending on how you want the ghost to look and how flayed out the material is at the bottom, is totally up to you. What I would suggest is, with all these bumps as well, we could go to modifiers and we could actually add a smooth if you wanted to. Totally up to you, but it's an option. So we can go to smooth, and you can start to kind of morph some of this as well, or you could have like crazy kind of textures going on. To be honest with you, it's totally up to you whether you want to use smooth or not. But if we come back to the physics tab and we just mess around with the compression and maybe just pull that compression just down just ever so slightly, take this back to 0. We now have a nicer flow to that material in particular. And it just comes down a lot nicer as well. What you could do, you could also, if we put this back to 0, mess around with your quality steps. Now I'm just experimenting at the moment just to see where it comes to. I notice it's going very, very slowly now. It's going like frame by frame by frame. The more stuff you put to it, the slower it's going to be, but hopefully the better the result. So it's kind of one of those things, you have to be patient with it. Trust the process, so to speak. I see that it's very smooth when it's coming in right now. And hopefully my blender doesn't crash again, because it did last time. But yeah, as you can see, and it's coming down, it's a lot more smoother. There's a lot more steps to this, a lot more quality steps. Totally up to you again what you want to do with this. I would definitely experiment with dampening tension as well, with shear, bending. You could put internal springs if you wanted to, if that's something that you'd want to do. Totally up to you. You've also got air pressure. So this is just coming down now. I kind of like the way that it's going. and we want to add the eye holes. So when I was actually experimenting with this, how to add the eye holes and stuff like that, I just kind of took 2 pieces of the mesh and I just put a hole in it, and then the eyes kind of fell over the top of the model, and I kind of liked the way that it didn't quite sit straight. It was almost like the sheet was kind of squiffy, and I kind of want to put that back in with this as well. For those of you who've got PCs that might be a little bit slower, this process may take some time for you, or even like, you know, I used to have a small laptop where I started Blender, and my gosh, it sounded like a jet engine. It sounded like a jet engine. I remember being in the art classroom doing art and making stuff, and all you could hear in the corner was my laptop going, you know, just like crazy. Nowadays I have gaming PCs that can do this. So it's an upgrade. It really is. I quite like the way that this is going. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this, just press pause. I quite like the way that that's hanging. So to make the eyes, you do need to make some adjustments right here. So what I'm going to do, let's go back to 0 and just watch where your material is falling over the ball, and then just try and find out where that is onto the frame itself. So we've probably got about here. Let's go into wireframe just real quick. So we probably want to go this section here and this section here. Let's go on to edit mode. When it edits, it's going to go flat. So you have to kind of use your imagination here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go on to select the face. Let's go this to this, and maybe this to this. Delete. You can delete edges or you can delete faces. Totally up to you. I personally would delete faces. I'm just going to press F for fill so I can see where those are. And I'm going to press delete. And we'll go faces. So now we've got a hole in the tapestry, so to speak. What I'm going to do, let's go back to object mode. When Blender responds, there we go. Okay, so now we've got these nice little eye holes that are going on. I'm going to go back to 0. And let's let this fall, and we'll see where this ends up. And again, we're probably going to be waiting. We're going to be waiting again. So, yeah. I think the more powerful the PC that you have, the less problems that you'll have in Blender. But I have found a solution to that. If you have a PC that's not very powerful, and you go to, say, an older version of Blender, you can download the older versions of Blender, and they work wonders. They work really wonders. The only problem that I would say is the way that Blender has developed over the years is it's different, because when I first started with Blender, if you were making water or anything like that, you were making liquids, you had to program, like, it wasn't lines of programming, but you had to tell the computer what you wanted it to do. Nowadays it's just a button, you know, you just go liquid, cloth or whatever like that, and collision, and it'll just do it like this, you know what I mean? Like, but back then it was, you have to make all the parameters. So that's the only downside if you're going to an older version of Blender, but it tends to work better with computers that haven't got as much power. So, you know, it's a bit of give and take. It is a bit of give and take. So yeah, I think I got the eye holes in the right place. I mean, totally up to you what you guys want to do. I will advise one thing though. So if you copied and pasted this model that you've just made, you'll have to redo the physics for the next model, if that makes any sense. So you'll have to just redo everything but next to it. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. When we copy and paste over, that's if you want to. Let's see. You could also do a little smiley face as well if you wanted to. So you know where the eye holes are. If you're happy with the eye holes being here, you can go back to 0 and you can make like a little smiley face or something like that, you know what I mean? And I just kind of like re-render it. Just redo the physics. Totally up to you. But yeah, I kind of like, excuse me, I kind of like the way that that's going. So, what I'm going to do to make this look a little bit more material-like, we'll go into the shading tab. And we should be on cycles. Yes, we're on cycles. Okay, so you might need your material tab right here. So this doesn't actually have a material at the moment, so we're going to go new. I'm just going to go ahead and put cloth. And what I'm going to do, we've got Principled BSDF here. We've got the material output. We'll go to add. We're going to go brick texture. You can go color to base color. It doesn't really matter. But now you've got this nice little brick texture going on. So what you want to do is take the brick width and just make it all the way out. So now we've just got all these little stripes going on. We want to go ahead and scale this up. So you could have like a blanket maybe or something like that, you know, with stripes. But to be honest with you, I'm using this for more of a texture. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with it afterwards, because we're not going to keep this in base colour. We'll move this. So you've kind of got this nice little lines going across, and then you've got this line coming across this way. It's just the brick. We can't really get rid of that, but it looks like a bit of a seam, like it's been stitched together. So once we have this, what we're going to do, we're going to go to add. We'll go bump mode. We're going to go and place the bump between the brick texture and the Principled BSDF. We'll take the brick texture and we'll go to height rather than normal. So now we've got this nice little height going on, and we have kind of like this nice little multicoloured ghost going on. And what we're going to do, you can do this one of two ways. You could have a colour ramp right here, or you could switch this out to metallic. Now we've got this nice little texture going on. We still have these little bit of bumps, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. Kind of adds to the effect, I guess. So you can put this in metallic, you can put this in roughness, you can put this one in whatever you'd like. Scale it out, scale it down, whatever. What I'm going to do, let's go ahead. I'm just going to go and scroll out of that just slightly. Let's select everything. So we've got space. I'm going to go ahead and take the bump texture and the brick texture. We'll go copy and we'll go paste, or you can go Shift D. I'm going to go ahead. Oops. And we'll have one brick texture, one bump texture, one brick texture, one bump texture. The top one we can place in base colour. The bottom one's going to go into the metallic. And what we're going to do, we're going to add a colour ramp. Just at the top one here. So this is the layout that you should have. So we've got brick texture, bump, colour ramp, which goes into base colour. Brick texture, bump, and then one that goes into metallic or roughness, depending on what you want. So we can now see that we've got these nice little stripes going on, and that should be picked up within our final piece. So we can go ahead and we can pull the black towards the white, and this will contrast it just a little bit. We can have the white being pulled towards the black, and you can get some of that shadow and shade underneath. Totally up to you. And again, you've got the modifiers with smooth, so you can go out and smooth that out a little bit. So when we go back to our layout, we should have something like this. So upon the render, if we go to render tab, you can kind of see a little bit of detail of the cloth around the edges. Now what I'm going to do, because obviously cloth isn't just one plane, you do have a little bit of lip on it. We'll go ahead and take the cloth. Let's go back to 0. And hopefully this works. Let's go to edit mode. A to select everything. E for extrude. And you just want to extrude it just a tiny little bit. Just a little thumbnail kind of thing. just to add a little bit of depth and texture. Oops. G, I'm just going to bring that down. Okay, just about there, yeah? So now, if we press play on this, or spacebar, we should get an animation, but mine's kind of crashing a little bit. So, I mean, if yours starts crashing, just backspace it a little bit. Control Z until you've got one playing. I think mine's struggling. So what I'm going to do, let's go and press pause. Hopefully we get a pause. There we go. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and just backspace mine so it's one playing. But if your computer can achieve it, then go ahead and do that. So let's see. You could also, let's add some shape, maybe shrinking factor. You could go and experiment with this, to be honest with you. Let's see. I'm going to keep it the way that it is. I'm going to keep this the way that it is. Oh, we've crashed. Oh, there we go, we're back. Okay, so. Why are you not working? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the animation again. Just to make sure that this is okay. So we're going. And whilst I'm actually doing this, if you wanted to make a friend for your animation right here, you could go ahead and make another one. Let's go ahead and pause this. Gonna go ahead and just take them both. Shift D, duplicate. Just move them across. As so. So, in theory, if you had two ghosts, let's go ahead and just rotate this one just ever so slightly. Come on. I think my computer's having a little think. Let's see if that works. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we can start from 0 again. Go ahead, press play. And hopefully both of these should be able to fall. It's going to take some time because now we've got two of them. And obviously the animation is going to take a little bit longer. And hopefully they should interact with each other as well, because if you think about it, there's two spheres, which are the collisions, and then there's two materials, which are coming over the top. So in theory, they should kind of hit each other and kind of interact. So it kind of look like, I don't know, hopefully arms kind of looking at the end. But we'll see. We'll see. So slowly coming down here. The materials aren't interacting with each other, as far as I know, because they're not collisions. So they should just bypass each other. In theory. We'll see what happens here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just take this off the X-ray mode. So we can see the surface rather than the underneath. So yeah, we can see that the eyes are coming in just here. See that the eyes are coming in just here, and then both materials are kind of over each other. So maybe I could move that. Let's see. So I think this material from this one is slowly falling down. So hopefully by the time that they are dangling, the eye holes should be uncovered. Should be. And I'm looking at this now going, yeah, they will be. Come on. Just kind of waiting, just kind of watching. I think it's a really good idea just to watch your work kind of unfold, because then you can learn where it's going wrong and where it's going right, and you can see like frame by frame what's happening with it. So you see that this material right here from the one on the right is reacted to the one on the left, so it's folding in different ways. So it's all about physics and stuff like that. So you'll notice that material seems to be a bit further back on this ghost than the one on the left, which is kind of cool because it looks like the ghost is looking up. So I think that's pretty cool. We'll get some lettering in the back here. We'll get the camera at a certain angle so it looks cool. I think I might need to move the material forward on the ghost on the right. Or maybe I could keep it. Maybe because we have the text above. It might look okay actually. And they should also carry the same materials as well. So, I am actually looking at this one that's on the right, thinking maybe we could change this. We'll see what happens. I just want it to droop a little bit more. More droop. Come on. You know what? I think I kind of like it like this. I'm going to pause this. We'll work with it from here. But I don't like the fact that the eyes are a little bit too high on this one. So, I mean, you could go back and you can edit it. Or you could have it kind of like a surface. So, let's go with add plane. I'm just going to go ahead and scale this out. And then press G, bring this down. Don't move the ghosts up, otherwise you'll have to reanimate them. Or redo the physics even. So, maybe just keep them here. Let's go ahead and scale this out. Press G, bring it across. Scale out again. And what I'm going to do, let's have this as a reflective surface. So, we'll go to Materials, New. Let's go with Reflective Floor. I've just put felt floor. It's just abbreviated so I can read it better. So let's go with metallic. Let's turn down the roughness just a little bit. We'll go to the render right here. We can see that we've got these two ghosts. This nice little floor that's going on. Let's press G. Bring this down. So it looks like they're floating. We could have the angle just here for Happy Halloween. I'm going to go ahead and just make this floor black. And the materials here, I think that the black is a little bit too much. Let's go with shading. We'll go to this material again and we'll just reduce the black ever so slightly just here. And pull the white maybe a little bit further up. And then when we go back to layouts, we should have a little bit more of a lighter tone to our material. If we turn the roughness down, we might get something else. Yeah, if we turn your roughness up and your IOR just up slightly. You could also turn the alpha down as well if you wanted to, kind of make him a little bit more translucent. So then you can see like little bits of yellow coming through and stuff like that. So it's obviously like a spirit kind of thing. Totally up to you if you want to do it like that. Let's go with the floor again. Why are you not working? There we go, felt floor. Okay, let's turn down this roughness just ever so slightly so we've got some of that reflection going on. And then what I'm going to do, let's go to view, align view, and you want to align active camera to view. So this now is your phone screen. So let's go G, just bring this across, and G, bring this back. Then we can go ahead, just bring this up. Right, what you'll notice is this base right here is going straight across like that. It's because the camera can't see past this. So, click your camera. We'll go with the end right here. So you've got lens, and then it says clip start, clip end. So you want to go for the end. Go ahead and just pull this back. Now you've got more depth of field. So I'm just going to go ahead and press S for scale. We'll go up just there. What I'm going to do, we want depth of field, but we don't want it right now. So the depth of field that we need Generally is to blur the background and make sure that the foreground is in focus and the ghosts are in focus. Now, to do this, we can do this with a point, or we can select an object. Totally up to you what you want to do. You just need to make sure that, let me show you. So if I take the camera right here, we can go depth of field. If we click that, you want to take the dropper, select whatever it is that you want to home in on. And then the f-stop right here under aperture, you want to make sure that that's at 0. So what that will do, it will blur the foreground, it will blur the background. The higher the aperture that you have, the more detailed everything will be. The lower the aperture, well, now that's a whole word to say. The lower the aperture you have, it will blur the background and foreground. Yeah. So you could also mess around with the blades as well, and I believe ratio. If you've ever seen movies where they kind of have those lens flares coming across, I believe that's ratio that causes that. So you can have that as well if you wanted to. I would say experiment with it, see what works for you. So we need to add text. Let's go with A for text, add and text. So your text will appear right here. If you can see that just in the corner, I'm going to go ahead and split the atom so you guys can see what's going on both sides. So we've got the phone screen side right here. I'll leave that where it is, and then I can rotate this one around and mess around with it in the way that I would like to. So I believe for the text for this, we're either going to go trick or treat or Halloween. Totally up to you, again, what you'd like. So let's go ahead and press G. Oops, select your text, press G, bring this up. So you can see your text is going on right here. I'm going to go to edit mode, and then we're going to start writing text. So I think we should go with trick. I'm just going to leave that one as trick. Let's go to object mode. Come over to the data section right here. And what we can do with this is we can do font. So font is kind of an interesting one, and I don't think you're going to see my pop out because it comes up in another window. So you can open fonts here, and at the moment you can't see anything, but I can. So I can go ahead and select a font right here. Let's open this one. We've got trick. So this is, I'm going to mispronounce this so much, forgive me, Alti Snow Regular, I believe it's called. So you could have this one. We're going to go ahead. Let's go and rotate this by 90 up on the x-axis right here. So just go ahead, press R, and get it on the x-axis, and then we go 90 on the side. So you'll notice that it doesn't face the camera at all. So we're just going to turn that around. It doesn't matter if it's straight, it's fine. Let's press S for scale. And what I'm going to do, let's go and press G. Bring this up so we can go trick. And just move this to the side. So we've got our little barriers right here, if you guys can still see that. Let's go with trick right here. You can make it a little bit bigger if you wanted to, but we need geometry. And we want to extrude this. So when we extrude it, it gets bigger at the side right here. It's a nice thick lettering. You don't want it too much. You don't want it like, say, there or something like that. You want it just nice, just chilled. We can go to Materials tab. We can go New. Principal BSDF switched out for emission. Maybe go for a nice little purple for this one. Let's go with just improving that strength just ever so slightly. So we've got that nice little trick. And then what we can do is we can go, let's go Shift D, duplicate this. And we could go to edit mode. And we could go with and. I've got a different keyboard from you guys, so it's like everything's everywhere. Let's go ahead, press G. You can move this over. So you could go with the and. We could get rid of this material. We could go new. Let's go Principal BSDF switched out for emission. We could go for a nice little kind of Halloweeny green. And what you could do, you could rotate this so that it sits where it needs to be. And maybe like tilted and stuff. So like trick hand. And then we could go treat at the bottom. So let's go Shift D. Move this down. Press G. Move it across. It doesn't matter if it's not straight or anything like that. We can amend that. Let's go with the treats. Sorry, yeah, treat. I was like reading it then going trick and trick. No, we need treat. So, oh, yeah. The English language is like so weird, the way that everything is like done. Sorry, 1 second. I'm having a moment with language. Yeah. No, I'm just like, it's not the fact that I'm getting it wrong. It's the fact that I'm kind of looking at this and going like, it looks like it's spelt wrong, but it's not. Like, this is what happens when you learn languages. Like, you come back to your own native language and you go, that's really weird. Like, you know. So, let's get rid of the material on this one, and we'll go ahead with a different material. So, let's get rid of this pink. Let's go new. We can go blue or something like that. Yeah, you find like a lot of different things. I'm going to rotate this actually. A lot of different things with different languages and the way that different languages do things. It's interesting. Yeah. Grammar's really interesting as well. It's like backwards and stuff compared to English. Obviously, it's the right way for them, but to us it's backwards. It's really interesting. So anyway. We'll put this in. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with that. If you guys are happy with your design, you can go ahead and amend whatever you need. So we've got the trick and treat going on. I'm going to do the background if I didn't mention this already. We'll change the grey to a black. Just to kind of give it that little bit of a shine. And also this background right here where we've got the floor, maybe we can make that a little bit more shiny, I think. Just take down the roughness. I think it's because there's not a lot of light. I think that's what's going on. If we get rid of this light that's just in the middle right here and delete it, we can see that this happens. So I think this treat as well, I've not amended it to an emission. I knew there was something up with this because I was looking at it going, there's something wrong. That's me getting distracted. Let's go ahead and pull this up. So you got that nice little lighting going on. And maybe the trick as well, we could pull that up just a little bit too. You don't want it so much that the colouring goes, but at the same time you want it nice, so you've got that nice little reflection on the ghosts at the bottom. So what I could do as well, we could go ahead and just add some more lighting at the bottom. Let's go and add, yeah, let's go light. We'll go with point. What I'm going to do, let's go G, bring this down, maybe just underneath. We'll go ahead and put the exposure up a little bit. Let's go with G above actually, and then we'll have this going across this side as well. So now we've got the nice little reflection going on, we've got the trick and treat going on. You want that reflection to kind of come out a little bit. But I'm just going to lower the exposure and then I'm going to add another lamp. So we've got that nice little lamp there. Nice little reflection just underneath. We could go ahead, Shift D it. Move this across. G. Move this across. And then we're going to Shift D. and just move this across. So you want to avoid the reflection of the light just here, but you want to be able to see the ghosts to a point in the floor. I'm going to go ahead and just lower the trick and treat just for a moment, primarily because I just think that the more light that we have in this scene, the more it's going to kind of disrupt it a little bit more. So yeah, we've got something like that. Trying to think. So yes, we need a bit of depth of field. So what I'm going to do, let's go with shading. And to help the depth of field, I'm going to add some texture onto this floor. So let's go with add. And we'll go noise. You could go colour to base colour if you wanted to. Or you could go to noise with metallic. Totally up to you. Just, you see how there's bumps starting to appear the more that I pull the noise across. So that's just giving it a little bit of detail, a little bit of texture. Pull the roughness up just a little bit. So now you can see that we've got this kind of reflective floor with a little bit of texture going on. Go back to layout. And you can kind of see what's going on just in the background. So what I'm going to do, let's go with the camera just for the moment. Going to go to aperture. Let's go to the eyedrop tool. We'll select one of these ghosts. And then I'm just going to lower the f-stop. So we should have a nice little blurred background as well. And you'll notice the treats has just lost some stuff on there as well. So what I'm going to do, it's just become blurred. So you notice if I pull this up, the trick is in focus. And if I pull this back down, the trick is now out of focus. You see how that works? So if we take the trick and move it closer to the camera, hopefully it should be better. So let's go with G. Or we move it closer to the ghost, it'll be more in focus. So let's go G. Just go ahead and move it to where you need it to be. So you see now it's in focus. So now we've just got to move this across. And maybe just make it a bit bigger. And then G, just bring that down. So now you've got trick and treat. Or you could do trick or treat. It's up to you. Trick and trick or. Totally up to you. We'll go with or. Looks better. Trick or treat. Let's press G, just bring this down, give it a bit of space. Oops. Yeah. Come on. I think it'll only go on to 2 different ones, so I'm just going to move the treat down. Come on. Okay, so got the trick or treat. Let's see. I want to amend that background just a little bit more. Maybe we could bring up the roughness. Okay, so we can drop the roughness. And maybe we could have something in the background. Maybe another ghost or something. Maybe we could duplicate these and just have them fall again. It's totally up to you if you want to do that. You could just leave it like that if you wanted to. I'm just going to go ahead and save mine. Let's go with save. Hopefully it doesn't pop up on your screen. Yep, okay. So, I'm just going to go with, I'm just going to name this ghost 2. Because I've already experimented with a ghost. Maybe put some more ghosts in the background. Now it's going to take up a lot of memory, so if you can't do this part, maybe just end the tutorial now. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate these. Let's go Shift D, and I'm going to place these in the background, just chilling. So if I move this to there. I feel like, oh yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like I'm waiting for the computer to react here. So we could just do trick or treat, have some like little ghosties in the background. I think we're waiting again for the computer just to catch up. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and re-render mine. Let's see what this looks like. We should have some blur ghosts in the background, some in focus ghosts at the front. If this crashes, we've already saved it. So we'll just work from there. Yeah, I think that's about it for the tutorial, to be honest with you. This is going to be a difficult one to render in the end. I think this tutorial's gone on for about an hour. Yeah, we're just kind of waiting now because obviously we've got 4 of them on the go. This is going to take at least 4 times the amount of space, I do believe. See, many of the models that I looked at, they're saying like trick and treating. You know, some of them are saying like trick or treat, so depends on what you want to put for the title, really. I mean, I grew up with trick or treating. You know what I mean? It's not like, but from learning languages and stuff like that, sometimes people say it in different ways. So yeah, it's totally up to you what you want. I feel like I'm trying to fill the space right now because obviously like I don't have any editing software just at the moment. Like I have screen recorders and stuff like that I can do stuff with, but editing software, not so much. I know there's editing software on Blender, but I've not got used to it at the moment. Like it's a very new concept to me. So for me personally, I'm just kind of like, you know, what do I do with that? But yeah, hopefully one day I should learn it. I'm kind of just waiting now. Oh yeah. So how are you guys? You know, how are you guys getting on with stuff? I know there's one person who's asked me for gaming tutorials. And to be honest with you, like I've done a few gaming models and stuff like that. I went around and I did a lot of different stuff, but not like full-blown game maps. I've actually been looking at doing gaming maps, but it's the concepts. Like, oh my gosh, like I've been on Pinterest and I've looked at like, I want to call them schematics, but like maps of different games, and I'm kind of like, right, okay, if I put this in this place and if I put that in that place, then this is going to look good, blah blah blah. But I don't like to look at things from like top down. I like to look at things as I'm building them, and yeah, it's a little confusing, but I think like once I get used to doing something like that, like I should be able to make stuff, you know what I mean? If I can make objects and I can make rooms, then why can't I make a gaming map? You know what I mean? It's new concepts to me, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try out a few experiments and see where I can go with it, and then I'll get back to you guys, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this is nearly done. Come on, faster. I don't know whether actually, like, it would go faster if I put this on CPU compute. Maybe it would. But I think we're halfway through the drop animation anyway, so we might as well just wait. Well, sort of halfway. Maybe like 3/4. I kind of like this. I don't like the repeat in the background. Maybe we could have, you know, amended some of these a little bit or rotated them. But to be honest with you, for this tutorial, you know, I've been sat here for near an hour now. I mean, you guys have got more time than me. You know, you can make some amendments. Excuse me. So, what we should have when these drop, we should have some blurred background ghosts and some in focus ghosts. Focusy ghosts. So, yeah, I'm going to let this drop for a couple more frames, and then we'll see what we have. Come on. Maybe 65th frame will do us. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Right, so now we have this nice little background going on. I'm going to go ahead and press the render. And there we have it. We have two nice little front ghosts, two nice little background ghosts, and we got that nice little depth of field going on. If you guys are interested in any specific tutorials, send me a message down in the comments section, and I'll see what I can do. Because, you know, I'd love to absolutely help out you guys, you know, especially people that are just starting out with the software and stuff like that. I know things change. I know there's different ways of doing things. So yeah, send a message in the comments section, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.